try to go down the back way. Look at this gravel, loose gravel. Ooh, gnarly. It is Sunday, I don't know, October 5th. Beautiful fall day. I love this kind of temperature for riding. It's probably about 11, 12 degrees Celsius. I'm wearing a under Capeline kind of polypro layer for warmth and just this mid-weight flannel checkered shirt that you would see on anybody. So I think I'm a little underdressed for this temperature right now. However, it is going to be a little warmer with the sun, hopefully. And I'm praying this guy, oh shit, this guy's following me. That's not good. Getting a little recursion. So I'll just get her up into third for a moment. Guy's in a hurry. There's the only danger of me riding on a Sunday, church people speeding. Because they don't know how to ride near a bike. I just need more space in case I go down. Makes me nervous when cars tailgate. Yeah, this might have been a lot slipperier. Ooh, that was smart. To take that easy in first. Okay, we're doing it. Good. That guy, yeah, that guy's going to church. It's okay. He's a Lutheran. Everything's going to be okay. He's not late. Wesley would he'd turn over. Ooh, gah. But Wesley was a Methodist. He was the method man. All right, I'm gonna cut the camera here. We all know what this area looks like. It is just a beautiful rip down Grace Road. That's what this section of River Road is called, Grace Road. Woo, baby, swerving. 60K. It is chilly down here in the shade. I do have a little bit of nippleitis this morning. Luckily, I'm not wearing a see-through top. Okay, enough of that nonsense. I'm off like a prom dress. That's a quote. You can quote that. I didn't make that up. All right. Okay, we're rolling, rolling, rolling. Just about to head over the bridge. That's always a little sporty. As our crossing train tracks first thing in the morning. Chunka. Am I gonna make this light? Look at the light, look at the light, look at where you're going. Got it, baby. Okay, I need to back off the throttle. Good job. Didn't panic. There we go. Gear down, buddy. Gear down, old man. So after 3 years of riding year-round on this little Nightster chopper bobber from 2008, fuel injected, no other fancy stuff on it. Good. Okay, so let's get her up into fourth. May the fourth be with you. I'm rolling for the bridge. Good. I probably will just post this ride today, maybe, if I can get motivated, but I haven't posted in a while to YouTube. I've got a schwack of ride footage, And I had planned to do sort of an endless summer montage or something. Like just compress, you know, a month and a half of riding and the zombie going to work and then riding on weekends kind of lifestyle. Ooh, I'm hauling. Good. So here we are, ranting and riding. But I'm not gonna lie, 2025 has been a brutal year for me. I mean, I'm super grateful to still have work, but it's getting slower each year. And my strata complex is really kind of stressing me out. So hopefully they make the right choice and they realize that we just can't do a huge project, multi-million-dollar project right now. Nobody has that kind of money. We should hire a guy like me for 50 grand a year, and I could do the building, painting, scraping, and upgrade, ripping off old boards, and just doing the best that we can to keep the building Becca report at bay. You know, like there's issues that I might not be able to deal with, but let's do all the stuff that a guy with a scraper and a couple of hand tools can handle from a ladder. I mean, I could probably jump and hit most of the second floor balconies with a pole and a roller. So I just have to go up there to clean it, scrape it, and then, you know, college pro style, you know, like a college pro painter. Just get out there with a few ladders and fucking do it. You don't dick around with hiring massive construction firms that will just blanket the area with massive scaffolding, which ends up making the whole place look like crap, and nobody can sell, nobody can buy. But if somebody's buying a place and they see the building guy, the maintenance and the groundskeeper guy up on a ladder tuning up a balcony because all you got to do is scrape and paint and replace a couple of the boards and deal with some shitty drainage. That's the real problem. I need to install gutters. Any idiot can do that. I need to install proper rain runoff along the top of the building. No, nobody's going to look at that. Nobody's going to hire me to do multiple jobs, and then I could actually fucking retire. I'd make a little bit of extra money with this side hustle. I'd hopefully be able to do my regular job still, and I'd get to put down some of the haters that are just spreading hate speech about me at my complex. So that's what happens when you have a full-on birth defect that isn't your fault, but everybody, you know, treats you like a second-class citizen. So it's just brutal, my life. That's why I have to ride a Harley. That's why I have a Mistress that has 2 wheels and a massive Evo engine. Well, massive by a lot of standards, maybe not Harley standards. It's one of the smallest Harleys. But because of that, dude, anybody could ride this thing. If you're tall, you get forward control, so your feet are out here. Okay, I gotta stop babbling. Okay, we're back on Canada Way, right by BCIT. Look at the sunshine. The craziest life. Yeah, as I was saying, 2025 has been actually a stressful year, simply because of all the hoopla in the news, major macro world events, combined with my local strata council not really getting with the times. They think that we're still a bottomless pit of money the way the baby boomers were. Well, I'm sorry to say, The whole baby boomer life of excess, that ship has sailed. We honestly, every strata corporation in BC must be going through the same problem. Even people with good paying jobs are struggling. Trump economics is geared towards annihilating the middle class. And I'm not even middle class. I'm below the poverty line, and I scrape by because I don't buy a lot of stuff that normal people seem to feel they have to buy. Sure, I spend money on old Harleys and other things, but I'm wearing this shirt for the last decade. You know, it's like I've had this shirt probably a decade now. It was a Christmas gift a long time ago from someone who ended up betraying me. And I wear it with pride, my flannel. So kudos to that girl. She did buy me a fair schwack of clothing. She was good. Well, she was good. You know what I mean? But then she turned out to be someone who just hurts, uses and abuses. If you can't be loyal to a special person like me, like I'm clearly handicapped, if you choose to be with me, you need to have a fucking spine. You know, when your friends try to embarrass you because you're with me, you need to straight up punch them right in the fucking face. Tell them, look, those people you thought were good in your life, as soon as I show up and they make weird, hateful comments about me, then you know those people are very unethical. They don't like anybody that isn't like them, and it's their fear of what I went through. They don't understand it. How does God do this? Why would God let me suffer like this? Well, okay, if you're really a Christian and you actually have opened the Bible, you might want to check out Job. Job did nothing to deserve the trouble he got. And you need to understand that where Job shows up in the Bible, this is suddenly turning into a sermon, and I don't normally like the book of Job, but because it's so graphic, like the guy just had his life completely effing ruined, so why would that be inspirational? I don't know, but yeah, it's definitely, it hits me right in the heart, that book. It's hard for me to read it. So God does allow even those he loves to suffer. The example is Paul, of course. Paul suffered even through his living life. Oh crap, come on baby, stop. I'm so good I look ahead. Oh, that could have been really bad. Just in the nick of time, like Spider-Man. Because that's really who I am. I'm Spider-Man. And Batman rolled into one. I'm a DIY Batman. Oh. I look back to 1989. My first year in Vancouver was 89. I wrestled up on the big mountain there. It was awesome. Being young and going into mountain climbing and all that stuff. And back then, any job would get you enough to rent an apartment, a shitty student apartment. It was still a struggle, not gonna lie, but we've hit a couple of small recessions since then. Oh geez, I got a guy coming up way too quick and I want to move out. There we go. He can pass me on the right if he's really that inclined. Am I going to make this light? Yes, I'm going to fucking goose there. Well done. And I do have the GoPro on, but it might be a case of you not seeing anything because I'm going directly into the sun. So that is an issue here. Somebody coming around that corner looking into the sun may not actually perceive a motorcycle, a very small vehicle here on a downhill. So I'm going to watch my butt. Oh, it's a bus. And you'll notice I don't pop my bike into neutral at a traffic light. Don't ever do that. Man up and hold that clutch in. Because if someone comes in behind me pretty quick, I can actually lurch forward and get the hell out of Dodge. Minimize the impact, and I might even get away. So I'm not a pro. I'm not a, I'm a total 3-year newbie. So if you've got a biker in the family, ask him or her why you wouldn't want to be in neutral, sitting at a traffic light with cars coming in behind you. Yeah, sweet. Alright, getting focused for the bridge. Oh man, speaking of getting focused, I watched that latest Jimmy Kimmel bit where Matt Damon forces himself on the show again. It was pretty funny. Okay, this next section, if you've watched any of my videos where I cross town, it's rough as you know what. Oh man. Bumpity. Get it. I'm on the bridge. It is chilly up here. Honestly, I'm a little quiet today. Look at that good girl on a scooter. I love it. She's backing up traffic. You go, girl. I'd probably ride anything on two wheels now. I've always liked bicycling. Yeah, almost a crow. Almost hit the crow. Almost ate crow. Hopefully that crow was smart. Don't get hit by a biker. Okay, nice little opportunity to get her up to speed here. I should slow down before I get pulled over. But this is really nice, just to give her a good little rip through the industrial zone. Used to be a bike club here called the Jesters, but they ripped the building down. Oh geez. It was a little silly of me to take the risk of this ride to go all the way across. I actually only worked one day this past week. There was overtime on a Friday. So I got my butt kicked. The other days I showed up, and a great client, they're just in the middle of finishing a huge job, and they kind of don't know what they're into until they get on site. So I've just gotten a bit lucky and got a couple of half days pay, and they send us home on a cancel. But if I show up, I get half day usually, which is better than nothing. But other companies charge 6 hours, not 4. So we get a lot of these kind of iffy sites because it's cheaper to cancel us than it is to cancel some of the other companies. So ironically, us being cheaper with that gets us a little more work. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I'm not trying to get canceled, but it's just the nature of this mess that the client is in. Well, you know, nobody can do anything about it. It's just, wow. The area expanded super quick, and they still have a lot of old legacy equipment, and that's what's needing the upgrade. People aren't buying fiber optic like we used to. So we got a bunch of people like me in the city now who are rolling on crappy internet. Simply because the little bit extra that it costs to upgrade, they find if they don't have kids in the house, they don't really need it. So anybody that's a grandpa age or, you know, a corporate couple, they're too busy. You know, they don't need a huge internet coverage. They're not playing Fortnite, you know what I mean? And I've just left that running and yammering all the way up there. But no, it's cool. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I need the days off. I love it. I also need money, so I'm kind of happy. Like, my body wants to retire. My living arrangement needs me to keep going for at least another couple of years. I really pray I can do it. I'm always looking for a bailout. I'm always looking for a plan B, or C and D, just in case. Because I don't trust my strata to do the right thing by us. They're just going to try to take all our money and then fuck us. So they don't really care about the people in the building. They just want to get enough money in the account so they can skim and not have it get noticed. This is what a lot of the strata companies are doing now. Councils, because they know no one has any money. So they force a project, so they come up with money, and then, yeah, you never get it back. And they hire shitty contractors. That's what I've seen so far. The contractors they hire do a worse job than I would. And I'm not even a pro renovation guy, you know, like, I've done a lot of different construction type jobs when I was young. And I know that when you have a nice old cedar building like this, the thing not to do is change the material that it's built out of. That whole thing is designed because it's the way it is, because it's made out of cedar. Cedar is very resistant to rot, and our forests still have quite a bit of cedar in them. So it is a local product. It's not the cheapest, but going with a synthetic siding, that's going to be way more expensive, and it's really untested. And it'll be more expensive to replace later. Whereas cedar is always still going to be just fucking wood. It's always going to be cedar. So unfortunately, unfortunately, we don't have to go to America to get some cedar. So I don't know if any of the strata would even listen to me, but when we finally have the next meeting, that's the only time. I don't go to the things where they're trying to bully us into doing stuff, because there's no external representative there to protect us from the duress, being put under duress. That's what they want. They want us to make financial decisions by putting us under duress. Yeah, it really sucks. And I missed my turn because I was babbling, so I'm actually going the long way. Yep, going the long way, baby. Nothing like a longer bike ride. I could go back there behind the mall, but it's all speed bumps, man. It's fucking bullshit. All speed bumps. Actually, I could cut in here. I could probably manage that. Yeah, let's try that. Yeah, this is fun times. Fun times, yo. Yeah, I figured the parking lot's empty enough I could go around the speed bumps. Look at that. Easy. Did it.